Hi my friends, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I apologize, I've been gone. I've been in the trenches. I've been away for too long. But I'm back and I'm here to teach and ready to show you guys what's new. So as you can tell from the title, we will be doing a tutorial on how to do the viral, very viral barrel twist. As you can see, for this particular style, his hair has been separated into more like Pop Smoke type of style. So we are doing 3 on each side, which to do the partings, please visit another one of my videos, but we create a middle part and then I work one side at a time to make sure that the hair is symmetrical. I do work from bottom up. That is the best way I can twist and make sure that the hairs are out the way at the same time as I work my way up. So as you can see from the very beginning, I made my initial what is that called? I made my initial section with the comb, and then I applied gel. I applied braiding gel about 1 inch down from the root, and then I re-established that line, to which now I have established 3 lines, and then I am twisting each twist individually. I am doing what's called a comb twist. So I'm going to zoom in now so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Boom. Okay, so in order to do a proper comb twist, you will comb out the small section first, get all the little hairs, especially curly hair, as straight as possible, and then you will twist the comb with it being with like all the hair still scooped into the comb towards the right, and twist it all towards the right to create that tension at the top, and twist it down about 1 inch, 1.5 inches before smoothing out the product the rest of the way through that hair section, and then pinning it with a lock clip. So it should look like this if it's done correctly. And it will take a couple tries for you guys to get the comb coil method right. If you're not able to do a comb coil, you can also separate the hair, make sure it's all smooth, and then twist it like normal, but just make sure you pin it. That pin is going to ensure that the hair does not untwist, and make sure everything stays with tension and tight. Because if it's not tension and tight, not overly tight, but you guys know, tight enough. If it's not tight enough, then it will kind of create this like blob effect, and you won't see the actual individual twist for this, which is what's very crucial for this style. So as you can see, we worked up to my next section. I did the same thing that I did the first time. I established about 1 inch thick section, and now I'm splitting this into 3 equal sections. I'm using the lines from the previous row as a guideline, and I am going to do the same exact thing that I did on the first row. I'm smoothing out all the product, make sure there's no curly hairs that are curled, make sure everything is smooth and straight before then I take my comb and I twist it clockwise. See, creating that tension at the base. I know there's a little bit of product buildup at the root right there, that white stuff. I try to smoothen it as much as possible, and then the rest of it will dry. So don't worry about that, especially if the hair is clean. Sometimes it just happens whenever there's a little bit excess product. Same thing, doing it to both sides in the row, and then I will be moving up to the next row. Now there is 2 ways to do this style. We are doing this particular way because this is the way I've always done it with this client, but I will make another video on how to do it the other way. But instead of doing 3 rows, instead of doing 3 in each row, you would split the hair down the middle and then do 1 twist at a time, if that makes any sense. Actually, forget I said something, guys. We'll cover that in a different video. But this is the OG way, I think, on how to do barrel twist. So his magic number is pretty much 3 until we get to the top, closer to the top, maybe like the last 2-ish rows, to which then it drops down to 2 in each row, and I think it's 2 rows of 2 sections, but it's gonna be 3. I find that 3 is a magic number, especially for this particular style. That looks the best, is the best density, and it's the best to work with. Oh, I apologize if you guys are hearing some noise behind me. I am in New York right now, and the shop is located right next to a subway station. So, you know, just ignore the train, focus on me. So I have left this in real time just so you guys can actually see how long this takes. I think it takes about 20-ish minutes per section, and he has 6 sections, so roughly around 2.5 hours for this look total. And of course, I think the most tedious thing, or the most intricate thing that will be done with this look, is the initial twisting, this part right here. So twisting each individual hair. It is important to note that if you are attempting this style on yourself or on a sibling or a significant other or a child, especially of the curlier nature method, that you do not wear this style longer than 4 weeks tops, because this is actually a traditional method on how to start locks. So if you are not wanting to have locks after this style, I highly recommend just removing this style after 3.5 to 4 weeks. And with any braid style, I recommend wetting the hair first, completely saturating it in water, and then taking down the braids to prevent breakage and hair loss. And so, like mentioned in the beginning, with this particular style, I think I did between 6 and 8 rows. Now, I think it's important to note, and I will do a close-up at the end, sometimes I like it like this, sometimes I don't. I think it looks a little bit more unique and more like locks or dreadlocks when you don't do it like this, but I do not match up the rows with the previous section. So if you look to the left, and you can see that I already did a side, I never match up the rows together because I think this gives it a little bit more of like a unique dreadlock look, which is essentially what the style is. You can do it however you feel you guys want to do it. And remember, with doing braid stuff like this, it is very unique. I know everybody wants a particular look, but it's very unique. It's art at the end of the day. It is unique to you. It is unique to your client or whoever you're doing this for. It is unique to their head shape. It is just tailored to them. So it does not have to be perfect and exactly like the video, because honestly, at the end of the day, I make every single style, whether my own or something that I've seen on Instagram. I cater it to my client, so it is already unique in that respect. So don't get frustrated or upset if it doesn't look exactly like how I'm doing it or how you see the picture, because again, everything is unique to you and your client and their needs at the end of the day. So be unique, be you. That's a good message right there. Okay, so I believe this is the last row of 3. Thank you guys. If you guys are still in the video with me watching this, I appreciate you guys sticking around for this long. The most important part is coming up very soon. But like I said, this is the last row of 3 small parts that we're going to do before we switch to the last 2 rows of 2. And then we will twist it all together, which is what's going to create that barrel effect in a second. So bear with me. I think it's very important to note to not really to be stingy with your products. So, obviously don't be heavy-handed and oversaturate the hair, but definitely don't be stingy with the products, because or at least a lot of the products that I use, they're all water-based. So they're gonna evaporate into the hair after, the style itself dries. Here we go, my friends. I'm working on my last 2 sections of 2. I do believe I twist them just a little bit different. I think I twist them closer to the middle, or I angle them so that the twist, so I angle them a little bit so that the twist itself ends in the middle, because the whole entire style, which you will see in a second, is gonna be put in the middle. So I hope I didn't explain that weird, but when you twist these last two, you want to angle it so that the twists land in the middle of the actual section, or towards the corner, the bottom corner of each of those individual sections, so that the style is in the middle. Because a lot of the times, if it's not like that, and you'll see that with dreads a lot, if the twist is not perfectly twisted to the way that the style is going to be shaped, you get like a little knot at the beginning of where the dreadlock actually sits, and doesn't really look flush. I've been guilty of doing this in the past before I learned that the direction of twisting matters a great deal, but just keep that in mind if you are, trying to build up a clientele, if you're trying to do more twists, trying to do more locks, just keep that in mind in the future. But like I was going back and saying about the product, it's important to note to not be stingy with your product. Again, most of the products I use are water-based. Most of my clients have textured hair. So when the product does melt into the hair, you want the style to still be there. And the amount of product you use is important to that. All right, so, what am I doing with the camera? I'm adjusting it. So this is the very important part that I was discussing. This is what's gonna create the barrel twist and create the actual look that we're going for. So I am going to be removing all the clips, or each clip. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the clips. They have held enough so that we can then begin to start to twist everything together. So this is a pattern. Again, I have left this in real time so that you can see what I am doing. And what's actually creating the barrel. Okay, so this is going to be a pattern. So you will twist everything essentially. Okay, watch what I'm doing here. I'm taking these two pieces and I'm twisting them twice over each other. Then I will grab a piece from the right and I will twist it over the middle piece twice, right? And then I'm going to grab a piece from the left and twist it over in the opposite direction twice. This is what's going to create that barrel lump. Now, with the three pieces, obviously 2 pieces are going to be twisted in the same direction. I chose to interchange each middle piece to keep it in the middle, but these 2 pieces I will be twisting to the right twice. But this piece I will twist to the left. All right, maybe everything's going to the right. I think twisting everything on the right side to the left, twisting everything from the left side to the right. But everything gets twisted around the middle twice. So because I twisted the last middle piece to the right, this middle piece will be twisted to the left. And just kind of as a rule of thumb, you will interchange. So if you twisted a piece of hair to the left, the next piece of hair in the same row, you will twist to the right. So this piece I twisted to the left. Now this piece I'm twisting to the right. I hope I'm explaining this in a way you can understand. If not, just mute me and just try to watch what I'm doing. So because I have now twisted the last piece to the left, this piece is going to the right. And again, this right piece or this left piece is going to the right. And sometimes you might see me just kind of retightening the little twist if it's loosened up a little bit to kind of create that tension look again. Because like I said, if it doesn't look, if it's not tight enough, it will kind of create like a weird hair blob and the style will not last as long. So as you are adding hair, you are creating the barrel look, which is you see getting bigger and bigger with the extensions, with the the addition of the hair. Once we have gotten to the bottom, you will see me take this last little piece and I wrap it over twice. Now, this part is unique to you. You can do whatever you feel like doing is best for you, but for me, my client, we braid his. So I then wrap that last little piece around twice, and then I section this spot into 3, still keeping the tension so that I'm not loosening up what I just created and then applying a product at the end to make sure it's not fuzzy and everything is straight. After I got the 3 pieces to my liking and smoothing it out, I start to begin my braid. Applied product as I go, you know, because his hair is on the 4C side. Well, it's like a 4B, 4C. No, he has 4C hair, sorry. 4C hair, and then I'm smoothing everything out as best as I can while still trying to braid, make sure everything's not so fuzzy, right? He has thick hair, you guys. This man has the thickest hair I've ever worked with in my life, but this part is very important. You know, take your time. If you don't like the braid, you can always just separate the last little bit of hair into 2. I apologize, there's a train coming, so if you catch that in the audio, I apologize. There's nothing I can really do about that at the moment. And then, you know, twist all the way down like normal or braid all the way down like normal. And then I do something different with the ends. Rather than just rubber banding them, we're gonna tuck them. We're gonna tuck them up like you see on the last 2 pieces behind this piece. That's gonna kind of create that lock look, I think. And I will show you how to do that in a second. But, you know, braid like normal or twist like normal. Make sure everything's smooth and in place and tight enough. All right, here we go. So what I do is I twist the rubber band around the hair twice, and then, or about 3 or 4 times, and then what you see me do is smooth out the rest of that hair and flip it up. And then I continue to rubber band up to tuck the pieces of hair that we have flipped up. And this is essentially what's gonna create like a lock look, but it's also gonna make sure, like, I don't know if you've seen braids, especially on men or natural styles, how they frizz up at the end after a couple days or weeks or whatever. This will diminish that. That will make sure that the hair is neat and tight all the way through from root to tip. And it should look like this when you're done. So everything is neat, precise, in its place. All the ends are tucked and nothing is going anywhere. So this is what it should look like. Boom, right here, what it looks like when it's all done. Everything's neat, everything is uniform, everything is put together. I have already moussed it, and I'm just spraying it with a light layer of oil sheen. And that's pretty much all to it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what I could have done differently or what kind of styles you guys want to see in the future. I will be making a part 2 to this style without 3 twists, but 2 in each section. In a twisted base. So be on the lookout for that video. Until next time, I love you guys, and don't forget to follow me on my other social media accounts, which will be listed in the comments below. Till next time, love you, bye.